Boom, and we're live. All right, welcome to LanderBolt's Success Hour. And this week I have a very special guest. His name is Brian Pfeiffer. And for those of you who don't know Brian, he is one of the most successful, he owns one of the most successful businesses in Las Vegas. And he is an excellent social media expert to drive traffic to both online and offline businesses. I'll let him talk more about that shortly. But for this week's LanderBolt Success Hour, I have no commercial announcements other than LanderBolt Mobile went live, and it's a free add-on for everyone, and you can go ahead and try that out. And we also have the sushi dinner meetup in February. So go ahead and sign up for the sushi meetup if you're in San Diego. And if you've not gotten an email for that, you can email support. So again, I'm going to let Brian give you the who he is, his humble beginnings, and where, and then we'll learn about how he has built an empire using the internet and also a brick and mortar business. And additionally, one of the awesome things is I've known Brian for many years, and he told me he was buying a little while ago, he was buying websites, SEO sites, and I thought all that was dead, and all of a sudden he 5x's his ROI on these super expensive sites. So that's something I'd like to learn about, and he has a lot to share. You can learn a lot from Brian. So Brian, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yeah. So I'm gonna mute out, and why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the listeners, and then you can go ahead and start sharing your secrets to how you've mastered social, and also talk about your 7-figure years, and how you're growing and scaling your business, and your overall business success.
All right. Well, how's everybody doing today? Thanks for joining us. And yeah, I'm Brian Pfeiffer. I've been on the internet since the early, about 2003, 2004 is kind of when I built my first website. But I really didn't get into the whole internet marketing thing until probably sometime around 2011, 2012. I started a party bus company, and what happened was, basically I had these big buses, and I had 3 of them, and then I had a Escalade as well, so I had 4 vehicles, and I didn't have any leads coming in, so I had to figure out a way to drive leads to keep these buses running, because I'm paying the insurance, I'm paying the maintenance, there's fees and licenses involved in these things. So that's kind of when I got my real first taste of internet marketing was using Google AdWords, using Yelp, and SEO as well. I actually paid a guy to do the SEO on my site at the party bus site, and he did really well. He got me to page 1 for a number of keywords, and so I kind of saw the power of Google. This was back in 2011, 2012 type of thing, and then ultimately that business, after running it for a couple of years, I had moved to Vegas in that time in 2013, and I was still trying to run the party bus business, and then was trying to operate a business in Vegas, and it just wasn't realistic to try to run a business from a party bus business in Chicago from Vegas. And ultimately I was kind of breaking even one month, and some months I'd make a little money, next month I'd have a breakdown or something and lose money. And it was kind of just sputtering along. I wasn't really focusing in on it, and it just wasn't going in the right direction. I just felt like I was better off just kind of parting ways and moving on and focusing on one business. And ultimately that's what I did. But what I took from that, I guess you could call it a failure, because in the end I did lose money on it, but I really wasn't failing. The business was actually kind of making a little money, but it was not enough. It wasn't the work was not worth the reward type of thing. But I did take away the knowledge that I gained about SEO and about internet marketing, and driving leads and all that stuff from that business, and I put it into action into my Vegas business, and then later on I put it into action into affiliate marketing. And that's kind of how the story goes. I went from being kind of like an average person on the internet to just getting started in 2012 to now a multi 7-figure business owner in 2019 with multiple web properties and multiple media buyers. It's just kind of funny, the ladder, how it's growing. It's kind of like Michael Jordan, when he was in high school, he didn't even make his high school team, and then by the time he was in the NBA, he was like the best player, like his second or third year in. And I'm not Michael Jordan by any means right now, but I'm definitely probably Michael Jordan in his college years right now. So we're getting to the point where I'm starting to see some real gains here. We've crossed the 7-figure mark in a number of businesses, not just one, and more than one. An average month, like last month was January 2019, between all the companies, I did about 270K in revenue. Okay, that's just in 1 month. So if you were to times that times 12 for 2019, I'm on pace to do about 3 million in revenue. All right, so you got to pay everyone out of that. There's marketing costs and employees and business expenses and whatnot. It's not all profit by any means. I wish it was, but that's not realistic. But yeah, it was kind of funny. Jordan had mentioned that I was he was kind of like harping on me, because we've been kind of business partners. I bought Jordan's mastermind program way back when, and I bought just about everything Jordan had to offer, probably from like 2015 to maybe 2016, over a year's time. And over that time, I became one of his students, but then also later became one of his business partners. And I had this opportunity to buy these websites in Las Vegas, and these were all like websites that were ranking. They were good domain names. One of them, just to give you guys an idea, is bachelorvegas.com. So I had an opportunity to buy these websites, and I spent about it was well into 6 figures for these websites. I bought bachelorvegas.com, bachelorettevegas.com, vegasvipservices.com, and another one called Exploring Las Vegas that I don't do much with now, but the other 3 I still have. And ironically, I spent over 150 grand on these websites. I got the guy that had built the sites along with it, and he's my SEO guy now. And what ultimately happened was, when I bought those sites, I worked really hard the first like 6-7 months I bought those sites. I bought them in February. I think it's been now 2 years ago, and I worked for like crazy hours for like eight months or so, and I paid back the money I generated off those sites. I paid back the entire investment in less than 8 months. Okay, so in 8 months, I paid back well over 6 figures to the credit cards and banks. I did some creative financing to get the sites and come up with that kind of cash at the time, and ended up paying it all back in 8 months. Then I ended up hiring a guy once I kind of paid that back, and I'm like, okay, I want to get my life back a little bit. I still want to make money from these sites, but I don't want to do I'll do some of the work, but I don't want to do all the work. And I hired a guy, and he's still with me. He's my VP of sales, and he does a lot of the internet leads. And ultimately, what I did with those sites is I actually doubled my income. Like my actual income at the end of the year doubled. So I went from well into the 6 figures to even more into the six figures in just by buying those sites. And now I own those sites. We're growing those sites. When I had bought them, they had kind of been neglected a little bit. So now we're growing them. We're doing more of the SEO. We're adding more backlinks. We're adding more content. We're upgrading a couple of them as we speak. And what I've done now is built more sustainable business. Like I know 1 year from today, like this is February of 2019. I know in February of 2020, with the websites and the properties that I own, barring some kind of catastrophic, economy failure or nuclear war or something, that I will probably make X amount based on last year and the year before, because I own these sites now and they generate a lot of organic type of leads. And what happens on Google is over time is if you own these web properties and they rank really well and you keep growing them and you keep up on the SEO and you keep up on the reviews and you do all the things you need to do to maintain the websites, keep them fresh looking and whatnot, then if somebody comes in new into the picture and they try to like go after the same keywords that you've gone after, and good luck. I mean, they're 4 years. Well, these sites have actually been around for 12 years, so they're 12 years behind me. So the chances of them catching me are so slim. Like they would literally have to spend a fortune to buy backlinks and whatnot, and even then they're risking getting caught with Google penalties and whatnot. So it's like I bought my way to the top of Google with these websites on a lot of keywords that are real important in Vegas here, and it's just being so long a history with these websites and domains and whatnot. There's a huge barrier to entry. Like there's no one that's going to come in and be able to compete with me. So that's kind of the whole domain thing that Jordan mentioned, buying my way to the top. And I mean, a lot of these new like young bucks are coming out into the millennials and the Gen X's or the Gen Y's. I think the new generation is. I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible to come out and build a website and rank, but there's certainly going to be a lot of competition nowadays for most of the good keywords, and it's tough. And what the opportunity I think is in some cases is going to be finding people that have owned. Like I bought these sites from the guy that was getting all the leads. He had run them for about 10 years, and he just got kind of sick of the business. It's nightclubs and hosting and VIP hosting, and he just didn't want to do it anymore. So it left me an opportunity to come in and do what I was doing and what I was good at, and what I was a specialist in, and I was able to buy those sites. So there's opportunities out there for people that are, now maybe own websites for 15 or 20 or 25 years, even in some cases, and they've built them up and they've maintained them and they've got them to where they are, but they're done with the business. They've gotten old, they're reaching that almost retirement age, and that might be opportunity for anybody else listening out there to go out and buy stuff that's kind of already established, because I took what I had, a solid business, well into the six-figure income, and then doubled it just by buying some websites. Now, granted, I had to pay those sites back, but now they're paid off, and now I'm sitting pretty good. I have a nice steady stream of income.
Can I interrupt you there? I just want to backtrack. You just made a really good point. When you approach a business, you made a very good point about having an architecture and a structure for that business, and also building a business that has an asset. And I think you're really good at getting the right message in front of the right market at the right time. And I saw an ad about a year ago. You had over 6,000 organic shares for it on Facebook or something, and it was just some very simple ad copy targeted at the right people. And you are really good at getting the right marketing message in front of the right people. And then you also have the structure, and you take a structure for your business and you use that in other businesses. So can you talk to and let our listeners give us some secrets on that one special secret ad I saw? You didn't want to share it with me. You gave me a screenshot, and you know which one it is. It's the rumors one. And that was brilliant, because what I saw you do is you put the right marketing message in front of the right audience at the perfect time, and it was and you actually paid very little for that traffic. So would you mind talking about that?
Well, yeah, that's the good thing about social media, is that you do get an ad out there, it kind of goes viral a little bit, and what the nice thing about Facebook is people can share it, they can like it, they can put it into their friend's messenger nowadays. Things have really ballooned on Facebook as far as social media marketing goes. It's one of those things, man. You might have 10 pieces of content that you put out there, and then one of them ends up being the winner. You just got to go out and kind of test. What I think sometimes is going to be the big winner is not always the big winner. We kind of got a sixth sense now of doing this now for 5 years, affiliate marketing, whatnot, kind of what works. But at the same time, we could put out 10 different things thinking this is our best one, and then ultimately the number 2 one was the best one. So, what I'm saying? It's you don't know until you actually go out and test. But you want to make people, on social media, a big golden nugget is you want to make people feel good. Nowadays with a lot of the e-com products and stuff that we're running, you have to go out there and basically give people that feel good feeling when they're on social media. So they see a girl opening up a box or cooking, whatever the product is you're pushing, but it evokes an emotion, and that's the whole idea. If you can evoke that emotion, that feeling of happiness, that gets people to buy. That's really important. That's probably the biggest golden nugget I can give you, the listeners today, is that thing, and try to invoke an emotion with a benefit of the product. When you're doing the video ads are hot right now for e-com products. We're still running a lot of image ads for affiliate products, affiliate marketing on Facebook, but as far as the e-com, the videos are what's working right now. We can't seem to really get much traction with images and e-com products on Facebook. It doesn't invoke that emotion like a video does. So
that's a great example of a very smart business strategy, using online advertising for an offline event, offline industry. But one thing I really like about you and what you said is the processes you use and all of your successes. I'm in here right now. You gave me early access to this, and I'm in the business mindset for success section, and you've condensed all of your secrets and all of your years of success into this, and I'm reading in here, and you have some really good stuff about the mindset of a successful business owner. And you gave me access to this for free, and I'm in here right now, and there's some there's some things that I really love about this. And mindset number 3 is something that I think everyone would love for you to share your secrets about, and it says you can't be afraid to lose money. And that's something I really I think they could take out of this too, because you invest so much into your own education. I don't know how much it is, but probably hundreds of thousands of years, hundreds of thousands per year you actually spend in consulting and coaching and training. And mindset number 3, and you've condensed all of your years and secrets and how all of that into this, and you've sent me this. I'm not sure if this is for sale yet, but I'm in here right now, and you can't be afraid to lose money. Can you talk a little bit about that?
You know, it's funny, man. I got a few comments on that for sure. When it comes to like buying courses and whatnot, I still, even at the level I'm at, which is multiple 7-figure income streams right now, I still, when I see something that I think could maybe give me like one bit of knowledge, I'll still buy it. There's other affiliate marketers out there that come out with courses, and I'm just thinking in the back of my head, well, if I don't know what's in that course, maybe there's something in there that I'm missing. You know, maybe there's like one nugget. I mean, most of the stuff like is repetitive for me these days, but there's sometimes just that one little nugget. Like even I was watching YouTube today, and I watched a guy that I'm almost like decided that I was going to stop subscribing to his stuff because I was getting bored with it. But he came out with a video today that I was like, damn, that's a good one. You know, like you just don't know. There's so much information out there. You just don't know when you're going to get like that one nugget that could change the game for you. But as far as like when it comes to my education, yeah, I do have a pretty high educational budget. Every year I keep buying courses. I do invest in a couple masterminds. I go to events. Traffic and Conversion Summit's coming up here next week. I'll be down in San Diego. Probably end up meeting with you down there, Jordan, in like next Sunday. I think I'll be in town. So I invest in like stuff like that. I feel like there's good connections to be made there. As far as you know, buying traffic and whatnot, it's funny because I don't like to lose money. Nobody really does. I don't think anybody likes to lose money, but I almost feel better like letting my media buyers, and I do buy some of my own traffic as well, but I almost feel better when they lose money instead of me losing money. Like even though it's my money, like I just feel better. Like I don't understand what it is, but I don't like losing money myself. But if they lose money, I'm like, yeah, whatever. You know, you're gonna figure it out, because it's like they're not getting paid unless they're making money. That's kind of how the media buyer system works. But the fact of the matter is, if I lose like $2,000, I'm more pissed off about it than if they lose $2,000. But it's my money. It's like just so funny. But at the end of the day, we end up having to spend money to make money in marketing. I mean, it's just the way things are nowadays. You have to spend money to buy data on Facebook, especially, and we do it on Pinterest as well. And generally, what you have to do is you have to drive traffic. End up losing money, kind of testing offers, testing creatives, all that kind of stuff. And then what happens is over time, you build up the pixel, and eventually you make that money back, and then you end up getting into the profit. But, you know, everyone always asks me, their main question is like, well, how much money do I have to, you know, have? And I'm like, it's such an open-ended question. Sometimes we test an offer and we're almost break even right out the gate, just because we have a lot of knowledge. We show people, or, you know, my media buyers have like experience, so we kind of know what's going to work. We do a lot of spying, and I teach all this stuff in the course, by the way. I teach people how to spy. I give people like in the course, I give people 5 years of creatives, Quizlanders, advertorials, ads, images, 5 years of myself and my team that have been running offers, and I give everybody everything that's ever worked for us in a swipe file. So, you know, imagine having 5 years of like experience. I give you that for free. So, you know, I mean, the cost of the course, but it's in there. So, you know, at the end of the day, like we kind of know sometimes before we even start an offer, like what's going to work and what's not. So we're a lot closer to breaking even out of the gate. So if I spend $2,000, I might make 1,800 back. Okay, that's not, I'm down $200. you know what, as soon as I figure this thing out and I get the right headline with the right ad and the right copy, it will make that 200 back in an hour. And then, then from that point on, we're in profit. So you can't be afraid to go out there and spend money. And the question of like, how much money do I need to get started? I can't answer it because I don't know your skill level and I don't know what you're running. I don't know the offer. There's so many variables. Like I've lost 20 grand before, like not 20 grand all at once, but I've spent 20 grand to buy data before I turn to profit. Okay. Now, granted, over the course of that 20 grand, we maybe got 18 or 17 grand back from affiliate commissions, but we were never profitable above until we hit about 20 grand, and then we started making money. So, it's just the way affiliate marketing works these days. You gotta spend money to make money, and you gotta buy data. That's the life in the big city.
That is amazing advice right there. And if the listeners, if you haven't taken about 3 golden gems away from what Brian has taught you right now that talked about, you haven't been listening. Why don't we talk about, you really know your customers, and that's something that I think is essential. Knowing also what's in their subconscious, and maybe you got this from your nightlife business, but I'm going to get a little. I'm going to talk about some stuff that is a little taboo right now, but yeah, in your brick and mortar business in Vegas, which you are the most successful at, you know that unconsciously that your customers have some fears. If I go to Vegas with all my buddies, is my girlfriend or wife, is she gonna, if I'm only getting laid once a month, is she gonna, is she gonna get upset? And unconsciously, he's thinking about, is she gonna be, wanting to constantly monitor me or know what I'm doing? And I know that you have, you know their unconscious objections, and you use that same method to in your creative marketing and in your affiliate marketing and with your ad agency, and knowing those objections that are unconscious, and you overcome them. And maybe you could share a little bit about that, because I'm in the material right now, and I really love this section that you have about the entrepreneurial mindset and knowing and understanding the subconscious things that your customer isn't going to be saying, but you understand that. So could you elaborate on that?
Yeah, as far as understanding the customer, it's every offer, like affiliate marketing wise, is a little bit different. You're going to have a different avatar and whatnot, and you got to understand what what that avatar's what they're trying to do. If you're trying to promote, for example, a weight loss offer, which is, by the way, tough to do on Facebook these days, but can be done. The guy who won the ClickBank contest in January of 2019 was running the Lean Belly Breakthrough. Robbie, we know him, and he did over $1 million with the Lean Belly Breakthrough. So don't count diet out yet, but it's really hard to get your accounts, keep your accounts active. But if you're looking at diet, okay, and the way we structure our, typically we run diet with a Quizlander, and what you try to do is bring, you get people on Facebook. The whole idea with the ad and the avatar, which is your Facebook fan page profile picture, that's what you call your avatar. You're going to want to put your avatar as the person that you're trying to go after. For example, in weight loss, works really well with women ages 40 to 50 or 50, 40 to 55. Okay, so you want to put your avatar, which is the woman 40 to 55 with her eyes looking up and at the title. Okay, and then you want to have your title be something non-salesy, like we used one called 40 and Fit, or green leaf. We used My Green Remedy is another one we used for the fan page name. So stuff that's like related to diet, but not like salesy, because the whole idea with the ad, and then putting the ad copy in the image and the avatar and the title name on the ad, is to try to get people to click from the social profile, going from scrolling and seeing their grandma and their friend's birthday and the night out on Friday, whatever. We're trying to get them to click from that over to our Quizlander, and then the Quizlander basically takes them. Now we use the Quizlander for multiple offers, not just diet. We use it for other stuff too, and it works really well because subconsciously we'll take stuff out of like the VSL, like for example, the Lean Belly Breakthrough. The guy probably that wrote the copy and the VSL which video sales letter means VSL, he probably got paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to write that VSL. So what I do is always I go through the VSL and I'll start listening to the VSL, and I'll take notes throughout the whole thing. And out of that thing, I'll start getting stuff that basically drives home to my avatar. My avatar is the woman that's anywhere from 40 to 55, and what she wants out of like her life. What subconsciously is she thinking? What does she want out of her day-to-day life? She's overweight. She wants to be skinnier. Okay, well, that's not the only thing she wants. She wants to look good for her husband, or she wants to like be attractive to her kids. Those are the kind of things that are probably the underlying subconscious things that this woman wants. And that's the kind of stuff you want to drive home in, the Quizlander, to get to subconsciously start thinking like, okay, I want to, get from social media over to the VSL. And that's our job. The pre-sale page, the Quizlander, that's our online salesman. So our online salesman is like, the guy I like to use a used car dealer example. Okay, if you walk into a used car dealership and no one walks up to you, you're probably just going to walk around, kick the tires a little bit, and walk out. Now, if the used car dealer has a good salesman and he comes up to you, okay, and he says, hey, this is the car that you need, and this is going to look awesome in your driveway, and your kids are going to like love this car when they turn 16. He's selling them on it, okay, doing all the stuff that a salesman would do. Well, that's what our pre-sell Quizlander or avatorial page does for the person coming off social media. And that's what you have to do, is you have to go in and start thinking like subconsciously, what's that next level down of what that person really wants. Yeah, they want to lose weight. Everybody wants to lose weight, but what do they really want? Do they want to look good for their family? Do they want to be healthier for their kids so they live longer? Do they want to, those are all the things you got to start thinking about, and somehow get them thinking about that subconsciously in their head as you write your copy in the Quizlander to move them along to the VSL. Now, once they get to the VSL, then, that's a well-written piece of content by a professional copywriter, and that's going to sell them on the actual offer. And that's one of the reasons why it's so successful. That particular offer is the number one offer on ClickBank right now, the lean belly breakthrough. So does that answer your question, Jordan?
Yeah, and that brings me up to another great point, and I keep backtracking because you're just giving us so much great information. But you just talked about how you're using this Quizlander, and there is a kind of there's a lot of affiliates and marketers and entrepreneurs think that they can't make their business different. They can't figure out that new angle. And I recently saw this in the news, and it's about events, party events, like Tupperware events, where someone will have people, all their friends come to their home and they sell Tupperware. And this one was for sex toys. And the challenge in that industry is everyone does the same thing. It's always women who come, and they sell sex toys at these home party events. And I saw this in the news recently, and people don't realize that your Quizlander and the way you approach things and the way you put different angles and get creative, you can make every single business you can have a unique selling proposition and make different. And what happened was this couple, they actually now they run this sex toy company event, and their rules are you have to come with a couple and you have to come naked. And they tripled their revenue, and that kind of reminded me of what you do with understanding that there is a lot of value in different angles, and understanding that your business can be very different than every other business doing the same thing, just with a different angle. And in addition, copywriting. You just talked about copywriting for a little bit, and copywriting is something that you can study for years, and it's kind of like when you get good copy, it's kind of like, and you kind of touched on this, it's kind of like real estate. If you have a good copywriter, and I'm talking about high five figures for a VSL, and that VSL runs and you know it's going to convert, and it's going to convert at 10% for 10 years, that's kind of like real estate. It's an appreciating asset. And copy is something that you're very good at, and you also are very good at knowing when you need copy, and you don't want to write it, you hire a good copywriter, and some charge $400 or $500 an hour. That's one thing we haven't talked about, and I really would love you to share a couple secrets on copy. So would you mind sharing some copy secrets?
Yeah, well, copy is one of those things that can make or break a campaign for sure. Um, I like to personally, I like to go and do when I write copy. A lot of times I'll go and I'll do my spying, which I teach in the course, and I find stuff that's working. I go in and I take a look at what else is out there, who else is running these offers, what are they doing, and then I take what they did, I model it, and I put my own twist on it, and I rewrite it that way. It's just a nice way to start. It doesn't take a gazillion amount of hours. I don't have to rack my brain against the wall for many, many hours trying to write the copy from scratch. Most of the time, you can actually find what you need out there online because somebody's running it. And we have a lot of ninja spy tactics and whatnot. And, I take that and, I model it. I don't copy people's stuff. I don't really believe in copying people like word for word, but I model stuff. And, they have a certain way of writing, and I'll put my little twist on it, add some stuff, take some stuff away, and that usually works really well for me. That's probably my best advice on copywriting. You don't have to reinvent the wheel these days. I mean, the internet's been around for 25 years, and guys like Dan Kennedy and a lot of the other big time copywriters, Mike Diller's another one. They've put their stuff out there, and you can find it, and you can just kind of model what they're doing, and they know what they're doing. They've done millions of dollars and millions of dollars of sales with their copy. So that's what I do.
So that brings me back to the materials that you gave me in this course, and I'm seeing a lot of things about e-commerce. And I haven't heard you talk about e-commerce, but I know that e-commerce is an important part of your business, and you were one of the first kind of like gurus who started to teach e-commerce a few years ago when very few people even knew what it was or how to promote it on social. One offer in particular that really you coached many dozens of successful people on was a actual little lens for an iPhone that was kind of telescopic lens, and you offered a coaching program for that, and you had so many successful case studies and students, and I'm reading through all these testimonials right now in your course. E-commerce, can you give us any tips?
Now this is as far as e-commerce stuff. Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. We love affiliate offers, and one of the reasons why we love affiliate offers is you don't have to deal with the customer service. You don't have to deal with the sourcing of the products in China. You don't have to deal with returns, breakage, all the stuff that comes along with e-com. Okay, is a lot more work. Okay, don't get me wrong. There is a lot of work, but now things have kind of changed in the world of affiliate marketing because Facebook has changed. Okay, what we could run on Facebook even 2 years ago, which was like stuff like student loan, debt relief, all that kind of stuff, you can't run it anymore. I mean, if you try to run it, you get your account shut down, your business managers get closed. It's just annoying. It's a lot of work for sometimes a little money or sometimes no money. And so what we've kind of geared, at least in the last year or so, a lot of the affiliate networks started now offering like e-com product affiliate offers. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm teaching nowadays to the students, is that a lot of these affiliate networks have like these really extravagant, like well-built funnels by professionals, guys that like literally all they do is build funnels. And then they have like some of these affiliate networks we work with, they have like teams of like people like overseas in Hong Kong, for example, and they have like people that are literally finding like the latest, hottest, greatest products. And what they'll do is they'll warehouse them. The affiliate networks will, they'll buy them in bulk, like by the boatload, literally like by the container, and they bring them over here, they warehouse them, they handle all the customer service, they handle all the sourcing, they handle the returns, breakage, all the crap that the affiliates like us don't really like to deal with. And what they do is, because they are able to build these incredible funnels that have like all these upsells in them, is they're able to pay us out. For example, like we might be running some gadget, okay, on Facebook, and they're paying us like $40 per sale of this gadget. So we're selling an e-com product on Facebook, which is completely legal and fine. And then what they do is they're able to pay us $40, even though maybe the sales only like say 30 or 25 for this product, but they're able to upsell their customers, and those customers have an LTV, which is called the long-term value. And those customers, they're able to monetize them on a higher level than the $40 they pay us. Okay, so we're able to make $40 on a sale. Maybe it costs us 25 or 30 to get that sale. So we make a $10 rip. We're selling an e-com product to the customer, able to run on Facebook, and then the customer, if they have an issue with the product or they want to return it or they want to, in the affiliate network, handles all that crap. So we just run traffic, okay? Just like we used to do with the affiliate offers that we used to be able to get away with, we do that now with like e-com products. We just run the traffic, okay? And then the affiliate networks pay us out like CPA, cost per acquisition, and then they handle all the other bullshit behind the scenes that we don't like to deal with, okay? Because customer service, returns, sourcing the products, all that stuff is like a whole nother job, okay? So that's kind of the new model right now that's been working really well for us, is running these e-com products, but actually not doing the sourcing and the customer service and all the other stuff. And it's been working pretty well for us. So does that answer your question, Jordan?
Oh my gosh, answers it and more. That's something I never hear when people talk about e-commerce. Never. And that's just, it's pure gold, because you don't hear about how if you're doing e-commerce and you're not going the affiliate route, you have to deal with inventory and chargebacks and customer support. And I didn't even know about any of that. So we're closing in about an hour here. We have some Q&A, but it looks like we're not gonna have time for that today. Why don't we circle back to the very beginning? You have encapsulated 5 years of internet success, and in addition, many years of brick and mortar business success in a course. And this course is very relevant. Even I'm looking at something I didn't even know about this, but you posted it in 2016. It was about it's called Working on Profitable AMPS Campaigns with Jordan Wallace Schultz, and that's AMPS was a program I did in 2016. And I don't know if you remember, but it says here that you got your first $9,000 weekend on DraftKings app installs, and you sent me your first video. But you've pretty much done everything, and you have a very well laid out course that covers pretty much every aspect of business, and especially internet marketing. So what I really love about this, and I'm just in the one section, for instance, in Instagram tips, and this part of the course, and you can come in here, choose a method, and then you have structure and videos and training, support, and they can kind of and investing in this. In my opinion, investing in this, which is, if you don't, there should be a link below this video to either pre-order this if it's not out yet. Brian may be taking pre-orders, or just sign up to be on his notification list when this comes out. But I'm in here right now, and this encapsulates almost anything. So no matter what you do, if to make money online, or if you have a brick and mortar business, or you have a website and you want to, or you're author, or anything you do, and you want to use the internet, or you just want to learn about how Brian runs a successful party planning business, this course, if you live in Nigeria, you live in Australia, you live in the UK, is going to be relevant for years. And this is a type of course that is his, is basically a brain dump of, I think he said he has like a 2 terabyte solid state hard drive or something. So it's kind of like a brain dump of all his information and all his secrets and guides and campaign studies and case studies, and it's a lot of material, but it's very well laid out, and it's very easy to come in here, pick a method, and then go ahead and go through the blueprints and materials and videos, and then try it out and get some success. And if you're hesitant, if you're on the fence, go ahead and click on the link below. And if you are not interested, click on the link below anyways, just to see the sales copy or the VSL or the webinar that Brian is using for this product, because you're going to want to study that too. And if you are interested, go ahead and click on that link below, and go ahead and grab this, because he has I've barely been able to get a hold of Brian for the last 8 months, because he's been putting so much work into making this the ultimate course to business success, both online and offline. So Brian, thank you. And is there anything else about this you want, this new program you want to share with our viewers?
Yeah, I mean, I want to just make sure real quick they understand that, we were the number one, myself and my team were the number one affiliates on ClickBank in November of 2018. We did 287K on ClickBank, and I finished up number 10 on the ClickBank leaderboard in January. So we have, like, a lot of people are interested in ClickBank and that type of stuff. So we have how to do that and what we did. We have all the successful campaigns, the ads, the landers, everything that we did for those campaigns to be the number one affiliate and number 10 affiliate in January. And then we also crushed it with those e-com offers, like I was talking about, the e-com affiliate offers. So we're putting all that in there as well. And then again, for those people that have like brick and mortar type of businesses and are just looking for more leads, the stuff that we teach works for that as well. So we kind of got something for everybody in this course. It's just a kind of, like you said, a brain dump of the last 5 years of everything we've done successfully in terms of the ads and the swipe files that we're supplying. Plus, I really went into detail on everything from the image to the mindset to the lander to the traffic, and we show everything. I mean, it's a pretty intense course. We made PDFs to really drive a lot of the stuff home for the people that prefer to learn on words and PDFs than the people that want to learn on videos. We have stuff for both. So again, like you said, I've been working on this thing for almost 5 months now, and I feel like it's my best work, and it's definitely going to be worth the investment. And even if you don't take this stuff and apply it right away, you could always come back to it in a year from now, and we're going to be updating the course throughout the year. It's going to be kind of like an evergreen thing. So when we come onto a new campaign, we're going to be adding more value, adding another video or two or whatever it takes to get the point across. And so it's going to be an ongoing type of thing. So
I love that. I love that's ongoing, but also I love the fact that 4 or 5 years ago you were doing things that were so much harder to do, right? Because the technology, when Facebook didn't have the custom audiences, it didn't have all these advanced things. So it was much harder to do back then. So you had to be a much better marketer. And that content from 2, 3, 4 years ago is actually more relevant now, because now we have there's a lot more technology to help affiliates and marketers. And in the past, you had to actually be a lot better to make money online and to generate income. So I love that part, because there is this course is always going to be relevant, because and especially if you live in another country. For example, I had a client who didn't think direct mail worked in the UK, and I had him start sending boxes of business gifts to his customers, and he doubled his revenue, and it was just because he was in a different country. So whatever country you're in, get this course, no matter where you're in. And I'm actually going to try to sell Brian on letting me write his webinar for this after this call. So if he does let me write the sales copy for the webinar, click on the link below if to see if it is actually an evergreen webinar. And we're not here to sell you today. Brian just gave you all his secrets on how he became successful and how you can replicate his success. And I thank you, Brian. Thanks for the time. And is there anything else you want to share with the viewers?
No, that's it. Just stay tuned, man. We're going to be working some heavy hours the next week or so to get this thing up, and we've got most of it done. We just got to kind of get the members area organized and everything. So I think you'll put together like a wait list or something, Jordan. So yeah, just get on the wait list, and we'll start letting everybody know when we're going to do the launch. So
okay,
it's
and can they
close?
Can they pre-order this just so they have, they've got their spot reserved?
I mean, we haven't even set that up yet, but we can definitely discuss it. So definitely consider it. Yeah, it's not that hard to set that up. So.
All right. Well, again, thanks for your time, Brian. And it's always great talking to you. It's really hard to get a hold of you, but when I can, and I'm sure we'll have you on again because I know there's going to be a lot more coming from you in the future. And thanks again for your time. And I'll talk to you soon. Okay.